Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. And granted, I don't have Netflix, but I found another way to see this. I'm getting so excited. I'm hitting my damn table. Dolemite Is My Name, the new Eddie Murphy film, which also has folks like Wesley Snipes, Mike Epps, Craig Robinson. I believe it's directed by the same guy who did Hustle and Flow, and he's also directing the new Coming to America sequel. This is the story of Rudy Ray Moore, the star of Dolemite, which is a film I've heard of. I've seen Cinema Snob's review and a few clips online. I would like to pick up one day the Rudy Ray Moore set of movies because he seems like a pretty bad but fun, bad type of actor slash character. And I would love to check out his movies. And this is the story of that guy where he's a guy wanting to be a comic. He works as a DJ. Things are not going well. And then one day he works at a record store, and one day he sees this bum, saying these rhymes and being very vulgar, and says, maybe I could take what these guys are saying, these homeless guys, and rework it, have better punchlines, come up with a character of a pimp saying these big over-the-top phrases and rhymes, and play a character named Dolemite. And it works. People start enjoying it. People start loving it. He starts going on tours. And then ultimately, him and his buddies see this movie, the front page, a Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon film. And they're watching it, and everybody else, all the white people, are laughing, but they're looking at you like, this isn't funny. Like, what's so funny about this? And they go, well, wait a minute, let's make a movie of our own, which would become the movie Dolemite. And they get Wesley Snipes, who his character is an actor who's been in films like a bit role in Rosemary's Baby, and what was the other movie? I think he worked with Fred Williamson, the character Wesley Snipes plays. It's like, hey, you could be in the movie. You played the villain. I'm not going to do that. How about we let you direct? And Wesley Snipes, I wish he was in the film more, but when he's there, he's pretty damn entertaining. And I gotta say, man, it's so nice to see Eddie Murphy make a good movie again. Because it's been too long. I'm looking at my poster of The Golden Child, which is right there. And it has been so long, way too long. And Eddie Murphy knocked it out of the park. This is the best performance I've seen from him in years. I mean, there were films in the 2000s I didn't mind, like Showtime, and even family films like Daddy Daycare. But this really has that energy and enthusiasm that you want to see from Eddie Murphy. I mean, I did an Eddie Murphy marathon where I reviewed pretty much all of his movies. And the last film he was in, Mr. Church, I didn't really care for. I thought, this, Eddie Diaz a good performance, but the story is kind of meh, and it's trying to be like deep story, but I don't think it's as deep as the movie thinks it is. Felt a little bit pretentious. Like Mr. Church, I didn't care for. But this is so much. It's like a spiritual sequel to Ed Wood with Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. Or you just say this is sort of a spiritual sequel to The Disaster Artist, which I didn't mind The Disaster Artist, but I would say this was even better than that. Like this one, I got more entertainment I don't mind the disaster artist, but this one I would say was more entertaining, more funny, and more fun to watch. Yeah, nothing against disaster artists, but yeah, if you were to ask me which is better, I would say Ed Wood is better than the two of them, and then I would say this is better than a disaster artist. But it was just so cool to see Eddie really go into the character Rudy Ray Moore. You know, Dolemite is my name, and fucking up motherfuckers is my game. And just the cast do a great job. I mean, in the beginning you got Snoop Dogg as a DJ. Later on you got Chris Rock as a DJ on a radio show. And it has some good dramatic moments with Eddie, where the character's remembering his dad, who always called him a nobody and said he wouldn't amount to anything. And there's a lot of times where I saw that old spark of Eddie. And see, this is a movie like this is what I want from Sylvester Stallone or John Van Damme or Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not saying a comedy like this. I'm saying that movie that makes you go, yes, that's what I remember. That's who I remember. There's that spark. That's what I want to see. And Eddie did it in this movie. From the beginning when he's trying to get his song played by the DJ Snoop Dogg, he say no. It's, oh, well, what about James Bond? James Bond, come out, shake his black ass. Or when he's working at the record store, he's like, hey, I used to wear the Red Fox. Oh, really? I mean, I was washing dishes with him, but I was still working with the motherfucker. I mean, that's what, I mean, again, that energy, enthusiasm, he's not sleepwalking, he's not bored out of his mind. And it was interesting, just, I had heard about Rudy Ray Moore, I seen bits and pieces from reviews and clips, but I didn't know much about his story, so, well, how much of this is true, who knows? A lot of it could be total bullshit. But it was still a fun journey to take, and it didn't feel long. It's a little under 2 hours, but it didn't feel it. It went very fast. Him creating the character and the sort of transformation to this character, Dolemite. She got so low, she sucked an earthworm's dick. Recording a live audience in his home so he could promote it himself. He's so dumb he thought manual labor was a Mexican. There's one part that I was worried about that I thought they were going to take sort of just sometimes with these movies it's like, okay, now we're going to get this subplot that's a big love story. They don't go that route, which I appreciate. Although I think the actress, this bigger woman, this single mother, Lady Reed, played by Divine Joy Randolph, she was really good. And again, while I'm glad they didn't go with the love story where there'd be constant scenes of them having dinner and relationship problems, they didn't go that route. I appreciate they really stuck with Dolemite Rudy Ray Moore rising with the fame and then them making the movie. And then try and get the movie out, because no studio wants it. I like that it kind of kept its focus to what it was about. Because sometimes movies will tend to go off the beaten path into subplots, and sometimes forget what the fuck the movie was about in the first place. That has happened from time to time. I don't know, just certain moments that you made me smirk, like when as this character he wears a wig and he's talking to the lady, say, touch it, just don't pull too hard, but touch it. And then she's like, that's a motherfucking wig. It's like, yeah, that's weird. I don't know why, just the way the delivery, I think it's the delivery of the lines. No one was half-assing it. You could tell this was like type of a passion project. And it was cool to see Mike Epps in there. I like Mike Epps from Next Friday and All About the Benjamins. He's trying to sell the movie. And one company's like, well, we do pictures like Jim Brown for Williamson. You a little bit doughier. And Wesley Snipes, I wish he was in the film more. But when he does appear, he's fun. He's very energetic. As the director, he knows this is a piece of shit, and he's kind of embarrassed by it, and he's like, what about the lighting? Like who's our DP? What about the lighting? See, you don't understand. Black people absorb light. White people reflect light. It's just and again, I don't know if this is how Rudy Ray Moore was in real life. For all I know, he was an asshole. I mean, for all I know, he was an asshole in real life. But in the movie, they made him out to be a really good guy. So do you have anyone who really knows a lot about Rudy Ray Moore, and this is how bullshit it is? But as the movie, you really like Rudy Ray Moore because he really wants this movie to get made. And Eddie Murphy shows that. Like the scene where he goes, hey, listen, we're here to work together on a movie. So if a box needs to be moved, I will move it. Okay, if someone needs food, I'll go down and make the motherfucking sandwiches. So he's not being egotistical. He's not being an asshole. He's not being a dickhead. And seriously, that made me like when they're making the movie. I wish more of the film was them making the movie. Because I would say that's my favorite part of the flick. Like when he's trying to do his kung fu and Wesley Snipes watching. I don't know, for some reason I could see that in real life. Like Wesley going, motherfucker, I did Passenger 57. What the kung fu you doing? But I mean, they're playing the character. That just made me laugh. And like I said, there's some good acting. Especially by Eddie. Like when the movie gets done, none of the studios want it because they say it's so bad. And, Eddie low-key says, what kind of fool builds up so much and throws the shit away? So he's in debt. He doesn't know what to do. And, but things work out. Things work out. And it really does make me want to watch all the Rudy Ray Moore films. I don't know if there's a collection out there somewhere of his movies or what. And that's the sad thing about Netflix. A lot of times they don't put their movies out on Blu-ray. Like Dolemite Is My Name is not going to be on Blu-ray. Just like Bright with Will Smith. Now, it makes sense in the fact of their Netflix. If you bought a Blu-ray, then you wouldn't rewatch them on Netflix. So they're like, no, we want you to keep forking out the cash for Netflix. So that if you do like the film, if you want to rewatch it, watch on our network, Netflix. Stranger Things was probably just because they became so popular. They're like, well, we're going to put a DVD out anyway. But usually they don't do it for their movies, and it sucks. I wish Bright, Will Smith, I wish this would get a Blu-ray, because I think it deserves it. I really do. Sorry about I should do that away from the mic. I'm still not used to the mic. Anytime I take a drink. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, if you're able to see this, it's a lot of fun. Eddie Murphy, I'm not going to say he's back because, you could say Van Damme was back when he did JCVD And then you had lame movies like Pound of Flesh and Tip Box for Vengeance, and I like Jean-Claude Van Johnson, but I mean, some of his direct-to-video films like Weight of Death, Six Bullets were good, but there's a lot of bad ones too, like Assassination Games or We Die Young, or I mean, if you want to know my thoughts, I reviewed all of Van Damme's movies. I have a playlist of it on my channel. Just I reviewed all of Eddie Murphy's films. I have a playlist of that on my channel. But yeah, this, like I say, it was nice to see. This was a welcome surprise. It's easily in my top 5 favorite films of the year. Yeah, the energetic enthusiasm of Eddie Murphy is infectious. The rest of the cast do a great job. The movie goes at a good pace. Yeah, likable characters, fun bits of humor. Kind of a feel-good movie. And like I said, maybe want to go check out Rudy Ray Moore's movies. I think there's Dolemite, The Human Tornado, and I forget what else. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. Dolemite Is My Name is a nice back to form for Eddie Murphy. And even if he doesn't do anything worth a shit later, it was nice to see him one more time do something really good. And it was, of so many disappointments of late, it was nice to see the opposite. It really is. So yeah, if you're a fan of Eddie Murphy, you definitely should check this out. Very entertaining, has a good heart to it. But yeah, Dolemite Is My Name, thumbs up for me. Thanks for watching, take care. This is Rambo for life, and fuck your motherfucking films in my game.